Good day, Tragic here, and welcome back to Mage Night. We're playing Tabletop Simulator, and sorry for the big delay in my videos, but my computer blew up. Just got it back from the repair shop. Apparently a couple of the memory modules became faulty, so I'm back up and running. Let's get into this. So, one thing I need to check is I'm not sure if I advanced the dummy deck last turn. So I'll just quickly check that. So what I'll do, if I load up the last turn, if that's the same, then I haven't. Yeah, so that is the same, which means we haven't rotated this for last turn. So let me just load back up to 19. So the first thing we need to do is rotate the deck. So that was from last turn. So this turn, it'll declare. So we've got 2 more turns to do all our stuff. Let's advance that over. Okay. So, where are we? Wolfhawk, what have you got for us? You blank, you blank. Oh, look at all these wounds. Really wish we got this into our hand. We do have Lightning Storm up, and we've also got the Delphani Masters. So what I might do is actually go into here. All we have to do for that is beat 2 brown enemies, and we gain 3 crystals and an artifact. So that is pretty damn awesome. So that's what we're going to do. So we have 3 cards left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 7, 8, 9. We're drawing to 9. And even if we move there, we'll have the 9 because we're still next to this castle. So I'll draw all these cards. So all I need to do is move in there. So I just need to go bam and take a white die. That produces 4 movement. Blonk. And I'll be able to kill those things next turn. 1, 2, 3. So that's 4, 6, 7. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So we've got all our cards now. Okay, that's the end of his turn. Pretty easy. What have you got for us? Your Blanc. Now, what were we doing with him? We've got mana searches up. I think my custom rule for mana search is really quite brutal. I might have to go back to the original rule for my next playthrough, but let's see what he's got. Okay, so we have 2 choices here. It's 5 to move into there, and another 5 to move in there. So if we move it, if we can get 10, we can then kill this thing. Alternatively, because that'll only be 3 to move in next turn, we could move here and then attempt a level 6 labyrinth, which would be a dragon. But you can only take 1 monster with us. Okay, or 1 unit with us into the labyrinth. So let's have a look at his monsters. We've got a siege attack 4. Fire blocks, that's pretty good. So even if we get no more attack value, that'll give us 4, 5, 6 cold attack. So that'll beat. So we basically need to produce around about 9 attack to kill a dragon. This guy does 6, 7, 8. This guy does 3 attack, but they can lose resistances or even lose fortifications. So I don't think fortifications is an issue. Losing resistances could be a big deal. But it will only produce 3 attack, which means this will be 5 attack. So we need to produce another whole bunch of attack with our hand. We do have a move. And we've got a move here. So I think the first thing we're going to do is, let's just roll these 2 red dice. Oh, actually, we'll roll a red and a gold. I think you have to choose gold, right? You must be depleted dice, yeah. So let's roll this, see what we get. Okay, we get a green and a black. Okay, so that's good. So if we go 1, 2, so we could use this. Yeah, so if we go 1, 2, we still need to produce 6 next turn. So that would be 4, 5, 6 next turn. So I still need to produce 3. Now I could use this. This will produce 3 if I do that, but then I'm discarding 5 attack. And I think I might need that attack to kill the guys. So let me just look at my discard pile. We've used one move, there's another move, and there's another 2. So I don't think there's any more moves in our deck. So if we want to produce 6 movement, we basically need to spend that next turn, and we'll need to do this turn. But we lose the 5 attack, which is quite risky. I think that's what we're going to do though. So we're going to play these 2, and that gives us 3 movements. We're going to take the red die, just so we use a die this turn. That gives us 5 movement. And we're going to go only use 3 of those 5 points. But that will allow us to re-roll this die. Boom. And now we just draw another 1, 2. And hopefully they're good cards. Okay, what have you got for us? Now, we want to try and get down to here. So let's see if we can do this turn. We have... If we play Magic Talent and we discard this card, discard a card of any color, you may play 1 spell card of the same color in the spell offer this turn as if it was in your hand. There is a blue spell called Spell Bending. We can use, once per turn, we can use white as green, or green as white. So there's a green there. So, can we do this? 1, 2, 3, 4 movement. We use a green here, and then we use a white here. We still need a blue. What am I doing? We need and a blue. There's a blue crystal. So let me redo this. Okay, so we can do this. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to cast Space Bending, because Space Bending allows you to move 2 spaces as if they were adjacent. And what that means is basically, normally it's 1, 2, 3, 4, but with Space Bending, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can move across a space, move 2 spaces as if they were adjacent. And that means also with wings, you get to move 1 space per movement point. So if we can produce 4 movement, cast wings, and cast Space Bending, we can move 1, 2, 3, 4, and land on this glade. And I'm pretty sure we can actually do this. So first thing we need to do is we cast Magic Talent, which you discard a card matching the color of a spell offer, and then you can play it as if it's in your hand. So we're discarding this one here, which is Determination. So we've discarded blue. That allows us to play a blue Space Bending card, but we need a blue crystal for that. And we can use red as blue. Yeah, so we are actually going to use the red mana over here. So you can only use this once a turn. So we've used a red mana as a blue mana to power Space Bending. So Space Bending is now active. Then we're just going to do Wings of Wind, right, which you pay with a white mana. And then we're just going to discard 1, 2. And that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 movement. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait, let me actually count correctly. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are done. Nice work. And we're also going to discard Ice Bolt to gain a blue card to our inventory. You block. Okay. So that is that. And we draw, what's this? Meditation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got a whole turn where she's basically got nothing to do. Okay, so now we just go to our last guy. And he's basically got nothing to do here. We've just got these cards. We do have this dude here. What would be good is if we could clear... What we'd like to do is move into here and kill these two guys. So to kill this, we need 4. And to kill this, we need 5. So we need 9 attack, preferably ranged. This guy does range 6, so we could one-shot this or one-shot this. That is 3 physical damage. I think we've got a physical resistance of 3. Yeah. So what we want is basically 5 movement points, and we're fine. So there's a 3 block here as well. So... this guy can do attack 4. So we can't really do this, can we? Attack 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that if we did this, that gives us attack 10, which is enough to... let me just grab both these guys. Which is enough to kill these people, but then we have to deal with the attack. Now, this guy will do 2 wounds to us. This guy will do no wounds. But we'd still need to produce 1 damage. He's got no cards left. So we take one of the green die. That gives us 4. We play this one sideways. So that gives us 5 movement. So that moves us into the village. Oh, that's right, because we're in the village, which means we can heal. So this is what we want to do. So that moves us into the village. We then have... we've used mana draw so we can take another die, which will take the red die to power this. Then we, unfortunately, we can use this guy to kill this bloke, and that gives us an easy kill. We won't take any damage, but it also means that we won't be able to kill this guy because he takes 5 to kill. So we could range attack this guy and kill him, but then we'd still have to deal with this dude and we'd only have 4 attack left. So what we are going to do is we're going to use our shield mastery to block, and we block that 3 damage coming in. Pity it's only +2 for elemental shields. Anyway, so we use shield mastery to block, and we block that 3, or we could just absorb it with our hero. Either way, that doesn't do any damage. We take 1 wound for each of them. So that's 1 wound each. And then we produce 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we need 9 damage to kill. So both these guys are destroyed. You know, during editing, I noticed that this guy actually requires a red mana to activate that fire attack, which is pretty hardcore. So we're just going to use one of his red crystals, and that should fix up his turn, if I'm correct. So he just basically spent a red crystal to power this card. Now, if you see the red crystal reappear, it's because I caught this in editing, and this is just sort of being inserted into the middle of the video when, you know, whatever. The point is, I spent the red mana. And that is that. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's just save this over. That gives us an increase of 5 points. Takes us to 31. You blam. And we also get 2 of these. Ooh, nice. We've got a fire gem, and we've got something which you don't care about. Okay, that's pretty easy. So let's return that to the source, return that to the source, and we'll
discard them.
You blam! And that's the end of his turns, and he's got nothing that he can actually draw. And finally, we then declare end of round. Okay, so we've pretty much done. We're hoping that we can use, we're hoping that he is going to get some nice cards here. He's got the movement, and we saved a green die. So he's got the movement to be able to get into the level 6 for the artifact. But unless we get some attack, there's no attack. This is an attack. So we can currently, unless these cards are good, we can only produce a maximum of 6, 7, 8 attack, and then maybe cast this one sideways. So I don't think we can, unless these cards are good, we won't be able to actually even go in there. We'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, this guy, he's got the Delphanic Masters, so he's going to be able to just kill whatever's in there with no effort at all. And he can spend a lot of crystals because he's got Lightning Storm. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that is the end of this turn, and I will see you guys